we got to talk about Logan Sargeant. And I know that this was a big talking point for us, Brandon, on the last Encore show of 2022, the Formula 2 race weekend at Abu Dhabi. We were all so excited to see an American back in Formula 1. He got his super license points. He did everything he needed to do to confirm that seat for 2023. And it just has not gone very well, particularly since the summer break for him. So, Jackson, I want to start with you. Where do you see Logan Sargeant in terms of his chances of retaining that seat for 2024 in that second Williams car alongside Alex Albon?
I think it's going to be a very similar approach to DeVries at the start of last year. You're already in hot water with how much you've proven yourself as a driver, but you are still someone who is objectively, narrative-wise and marketing-wise, someone who's good for the sport, and we want to give you this opportunity and chance to improve. But again, we've got people waiting in the wings for you. If you are not able to deliver to the amazing performance that Alex Albon has been able to do this season with that car. So I would realistically have the cutoff to 2-3 races before the summer break in 24. And I think after that, it's do or die for him.
Yeah, it sounds about right. And it's been really, really tough it's really just tough to be a Williams driver. And Alex Albon clearly knows how to take advantage of that. But we throw the American in there and, you give him an equal shot like everybody else. But the time comes, that's a really coveted seat. It's just really tough in Formula One to excel if you're not at the highest of high caliber of a driver. And Logan Sargeant definitely is that. Just you can also get the bad hand of chance as well sometimes, is the way those things turn out. And the recent crash at Suzuka, it just put another it brought this question up again. Just is how long can you sustain this without Williams having to look the other way?
Just a guy that can stay out of trouble this weekend. And I think Brandon, it's a combination of, I mentioned this last night, I think it's a great combination of, one, Williams not bringing the most competitive package once again, but again, even Albon has been able to get that into the top 10. So regardless, how much do you really want to bring that into consideration? But you look at the talent that Oscar Piastri and Liam Lawson have been able to bring in this season, and it's hard for me to not be convinced that this is one of the most talented rookie seasons in at least the past 20 years, I feel like, just with the talent for a lot of these new guys coming in. So I think it's a lot for Sargeant to compare himself to these new guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, and I think Sargeant has the unfortunate reality of coming in, like you mentioned, Jackson, alongside Oscar Piastri, who's running amazingly well, and Liam Lawson as well. I mean, it's still going to be a crime, whether it's, he missed out on the AlphaTauri seat or misses out on a potential Williams seat. If he's not on the 2024 grid, it's going to be a crying shame. But, I think back as well, Lewis Hamilton nearly won the championship in a McLaren in his rookie season.
Yep.
Max Verstappen nearly got a couple podiums in that Toro Rosso, and then 4 races into his sophomore season, he's put straight in the Red Bull. He goes out and wins his first race in that car.
Yep.
Charles Leclerc and George Russell, outperforming their Alfa Romeo Sauber and Williams respectively for a couple of years before they got their promotions to Ferrari and Mercedes. So we have a history in recent years of talented, massively hyped rookies coming in here and just setting the world on fire right away and getting the most out of their cars and out of their equipment. Logan Sargeant hasn't done that, but again, I don't know that the crashes certainly don't help his case, and it's making it a little bit harder to defend him in this regard. But I always feel like there's the argument that we need to give rookies more than one season. We can't just, throw them out after 1 year. You've got to give them more time to develop, especially when you have somebody like Logan Sargeant here, who I think, Jackson, you brought this point up this weekend as well, probably should have had another year in Formula 2. I know that the seat was open. I know he hit the super license points requirement, and I do understand the philosophy of if he's able to go in, if the seat's open, you might as well start getting him experience in that car, rather than spending another year in the junior category. But, I mean, again, I just feel like you kind of threw him into the deep end of the pool with less training than you could have here.
And Ben,
it hurt him in the long run.
It's a matter of how so many drivers from outside of F1 approach this mentality of, if I'm getting a contract offered to me, am I ever even going to get this opportunity again? Right? Because it's only 20 seats. And I think, again, you made a fantastic point last night, and I really hope you were correct in the way that Williams approached this with a grain of salt, that he is maybe coming into this season a little bit undercooked and a little bit inexperienced. And I do genuinely believe he deserves, he does genuinely deserve, I think, at least one more full season, but I think a bare minimum of half.
Yeah, F1 seems to be a lot like NASCAR in a lot of respects, where if you miss your first opportunity to go to the Premier Series and you go back down, it's very, very unlikely you ever come back. So, like you said, like maybe staying in F2 would have been the proper move. Although it's hard not, when you have that available, the super license points he had, it's hard not to take it. But it may have stunted his possibility of having some more success at the top series.
And mind you, Brandon, it could have been a, dare I say, lackluster season this year if he stayed in F2. Competition steps up, he's not able to stand his own, and maybe F1 teams are saying, well, maybe we don't want this kid here. So I think it was a right move. I think if you get that opportunity, you have no choice but to say yes.
Right.
But again, it's just been, it really has been disappointing, guys.